It's 2026. If you're managing a fleet and your GPS strategy is still just answering where are my trucks,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
you're playing a game that's already over.
That's just table stakes now, isn't it?
Exactly. The real question, the one we're seeing everywhere, is what are those trucks doing to your bottom line?
And that's the whole shift. We're looking at the Fleet GPS tracking guide today, and it's so clear the headline isn't about maps anymore. It's about business intelligence.
Yeah.
For any operations directors listening, the guide argues that the location data itself is actually the least interesting thing your fleet generates. It's all about the insights you get from it.
That's why this felt less like a tech manual and more like a CFO's cheat sheet.
Mhm.
It frames everything around informed decision-making.
Mm-hmm.
I was really struck by that idea that we need to stop using GPS reactively, checking on a late driver.
And start using it proactively.
Yes, to fix those little efficiency leaks before they turn into huge problems.
It completely changes the management style. You go from putting out fires to fireproofing the whole operation.
So let's talk about the financials, fuel specifically.
Right. The guide doesn't just say idling is bad. We all know that. It breaks down how idling turns fuel from a fixed cost into a variable one that you can actually get your hands on.
Controllable cost.
Exactly. If you can see a truck has been idling for an hour inside a specific geofence, you're not just seeing wasted gas. You're seeing an operational problem,
No.
maybe even unauthorized use.
And it connects right into the safety data. That was a real light bulb moment for me reading this.
How so?
The same behaviors that are burning your fuel, the heavy acceleration, the harsh braking, those are the exact predictors for your next accident.
That is the preventative layer, 100%. If you're monitoring harsh braking events, you are, in a way, seeing a crash before it happens.
So you can intervene.
And the guide really emphasizes using that data for targeted coaching. It's not about blame. It's about showing a driver the data and saying, look, this pattern puts you at risk. It lowers your liability and, frankly, keeps your insurance premiums in check.
Speaking of liability, we should probably touch on compliance. It's usually the driest part of fleet management.
Oh, for sure. But the guide makes a really good case that automation here is a massive stress reliever. It's about, audit-proofing your business.
How does that work?
When you integrate your GPS with ELDs, the electronic logging devices, you remove the human error from DOT compliance. It's not just about avoiding fines, it's about the administrative relief. You can stop chasing paper logs.
And focus on the actual fleet.
Right, and that level of oversight naturally extends to protecting the asset itself.
And it's more than just, my truck got stolen. The guide mentioned using geofencing to verify billing.
Yeah, that's a huge one. If a truck enters a client zone at 8 a.m. and leaves at 10 a.m., there's no argument about billable hours. The data is the receipt.
Okay, but here's the friction point, and I'm glad the source dives into this. You can have all this incredible data, but if your drivers feel like they're under a microscope,
You're going to have a revolt on your hands. Absolutely. The human elements section in this text is, I think, the most critical part for any manager to read.
it's all about the psychology of the rollout, isn't it? You can't
Yeah.
just slap sensors on the dashboard and call it a day.
No, you can't. The guide suggests a pilot program. You roll it out to a small group of senior drivers first, get their buy-in.
And let them become the evangelist.
Exactly. And you have to frame the narrative correctly. It can't be, we are watching you. It has to be, we are protecting you.
Ah, that's the key.
The strongest argument in the guide is about exoneration. When a driver knows that GPS data can prove they weren't speeding in an accident or that they were cut off, suddenly the tech isn't a snitch.
It's a witness in their defense.
Precisely. That distinction tool versus surveillance, that's everything.
So for the fleet managers who are on board with the why, the guide then pivots to the how. And it warns against these big, complex systems that, need a whole IT department to run.
Simplicity is speed. The source points to Responsible Fleet GPS as a great example of this. It's a unified approach built for small and medium businesses.
So one dashboard.
One dashboard that shows you the safety scores, the fuel usage, the compliance logs, all in one view. Because if you have to log into 3 different systems to get that picture, you just won't do it. Responsible Fleet really seems to get that.
It's about fitting the tool to the job. So we're cutting variable costs, we're predicting safety risks, we're automating DOT headaches, and we're protecting drivers.
It's the difference between just running a fleet and actually optimizing a business.
So to wrap this up, if you want to see how these tools could fit your operation, the unified dashboard, the safety monitoring, the guide, suggest reaching out to Responsible Fleet GPS to start that conversation.
It's definitely worth a look if you're trying to modernize.
I want to leave everyone with a final thought, pulled from the guide's conclusion. If you treated your fleet's data as an asset just as valuable as the vehicles themselves, what one decision would you make differently tomorrow morning? Thanks for listening.
Stay safe out there.